Imagine yourself looking into a never-ending sea of people. They're all looking straight back at you with the biggest eyes you've ever seen. You're afraid of the reactions they might have towards you, so you push all of the fear to the front of your mind, forgetting that you're human just like everybody else. Public speaking was something really hard for me to do when I was younger. I had really intense anxiety speaking or presenting in front of crowds that it really took up my mind, and it was just really difficult for me to do. That built up pressure from wanting to be liked from others put a large strain on me early on in my childhood. But it wasn't until I found the amazing world of theater where I found a safe space to truly be myself, and slowly but surely that cloud of anxiety that was hovering over my head started to slowly diminish. Now, don't get me wrong, I still get anxious, as we all do. However, I've learned so much through the performing arts and theater that's helped me diminish those nerves and has taught me so many skills that I use in my daily life. Like this moment right now, I understand that giving a speech in front of dozens of people is something really difficult to do. But we as humans are capable of doing so many great things. So why should we let fear stand in the way of that? A little context about myself. I am an only child, and the closest family member to my age is 8 years older than me. So you could say that I didn't grow up with a lot of knowledge surrounding social skills, which led me to be very timid in school when it came to making friends, and just my own self-image was really dampened regarding like my personality and my physical attributes. And entering middle school was a really big point in my life because that's when all of my insecurities started to heighten. I don't know anybody here who liked middle school. I know I didn't, but I never really liked taking pictures, so I always took them of other people. And I always compared myself to girls who were more feminine, more humorous, and more intelligent than I thought I was. However, it ended up being a big turning point in my life because that's when I was first introduced to the performing arts and theater. The undeniable strength and self-assurance that someone needs to do theater is uncanny. And not feeling comfortable in your own skin, that makes it so much harder to stand up in front of a crowd and perform. I remember the night of my opening night for my first musical ever. My choir teacher noticed how nervous I was, and she said this very specific quote to me that I'll never forget. She said, "Pretend that you are the character, and the stage is yours." Now, that emphasis on that phrase was really important to me, and it changed my whole thought process. Recognizing that I needed to use this character not as a crutch, but as an alternate personality, gave me the courage to go up on stage and deliver my lines with confidence. It's just like how music artists use stage names. It's so difficult to fully put yourself out there for dozens of people to see. But insecurities are practically invisible when you're playing a role as someone else. It's an indescribable feeling to have all of this pressure and hate on yourself be lifted off of your shoulders when you're playing as somebody else. And after that change in the frame of my mind, you couldn't get me away from the stage. I learned that for me, theater is a form of escapism, where you can create such beautiful scenes, and it's just such a unique lane of creativity where there are practically no rules. And not everyone I know can relate to theater, but everybody has their own form of escapism, whether it be playing a sport or immersing yourself in social events with friends. With that, most people understand why we use escapism, to get through things that are difficult for us. And while things can be difficult, it's imperative to know that everyone is going through their own journey through difficult times to find their best selves and become that best version of themselves. Not everything in my theater experience has been perfect either. I would put so much time and effort into any project or any performance that I was in, it could practically be a part-time job. And I've definitely had my fair share of being disappointed in myself or having self-doubt and feeling unimportant in a production I was in. That's life though, isn't it? We all have these thoughts and feelings about ourselves from time to time, but it's about how we address them that makes us better people, and most of all, makes our life experience better or worse. Choosing to remember that the stage is yours, where you have the capability of creating your own decisions and making yourself and showing yourself to other people the best way that you can. That's all up to you. And this applies to so many different everyday situations for us. With my performing arts background, I learned this simple phrase, fake it till you make it. I use that phrase in my everyday life quite a bit. I stand in front of 30 people every week as the president of my theater club, and I fake it till I make it sometimes, for real. There's no shame in having insecurities, and there's no shame if you have to play the best version of yourself if you're not quite there yet. Acting as if you have everything together can be a catalyst to actually believing that you do. And if you do this enough, you're not going to be acting anymore. You're going to be living that truth and that belief as a reality. Maybe you have a debate in school and you're not so sure about your approach. You can fake it till you make it and get through that debate with a level head and a confident outward expression. Maybe you're self-conscious in large groups of people. Be the most confident one there, mimicking or pretending to be a character or someone that you know their personal attributes that you don't have. Occupations like defense lawyers use this all the time when they create scenes in their defense to try and prove a point, even if they don't have much to work off of. Now, this motto might not work for people like brain surgeons or airplane pilots, but we all have the capability of playing that best version of ourselves when we're not quite there yet. And no one truly cares how you are or how you feel. No one cares what you look like, how you sound, and how you express yourself, as long as you're not hurting anybody else. And if they do, they might have their own problems that they're dealing with, and that's not your problem at all. I know not everybody is going to experience what performing is like or what you can do on a stage, but I hope all of these phrases and skills that I've talked about help you get through your journey in becoming your best self. I hope you also can envision that best version of yourself when you go into your next big interview or sparking a conversation with someone new. Because allowing yourself to be put into these anxiety-induced situations creates a really big challenge. But if you can perform as that best version of yourself, that scary sea of people will start to part. And once it does, the stage will be yours. And no one can change that but you. Thank you.